Okay. Yeah, I'm up and I'm thinking my thoughts again and when I went to the UK with Mike, this was back in October of 2004. Um he he ended up being my second husband. I ended up marrying him and it wasn't for love. No. It wasn't for love. And we were married about 2.5, 3 years, and he filed for divorce. And then right before my divorce was final, I had met this other guy. I had to go to a mental hospital in the UK, and this was in Blackwood, Wales, in Wales, UK. I was at this mental hospital, but anyways, I had met my next partner of 11 and a half years there. I'm not going to go into all of that, but believe you me, a lot of magical, mysterious things occurred. Oh my gosh. Yeah, but what I want to do is fast forward to about September of 2018. Now, this whole entire time, since the heart swirl thing that happened between me and Joe, I was so in love with Joe. It wasn't a fan, I'm a fan, I'm a huge fan of yours, I'm in love with you. It wasn't like that. Um, it was serious. Like, my heart and soul were so in love with Joe. And that's all I wanted to do was be with Joe, you know. But anyways, all the years later, in September of 2018, I'm totally unaware, see, of anything that has to do with Kundalini, anything that has to do with the chakras. Now, I'm aware they're in your body, right? But I didn't know, what it's capable of doing, like. And so in September of 2018, I'm staying with this man because Greg had already left me. He left me back in June of 2018. And I was totally on my own in the UK. And things happened and whatnot. And I ended up staying with this gentleman, an older man that took me in and was kind enough to take care of me, until eventually I ended up seriously homeless all by myself in the UK. And then my sister helped me get back to the US, to Florida, where my mom lives. But in September of 2018, I know this is me and Joe. I know we're not physically together, but spiritually we are. And I felt I felt this tickle, like a sexual tickle below my belly button. And it would flutter like. And anytime I thought of Joe and our thoughts connected and united, like, it was a sexual connection, a spiritual sexual connection. And I worked it out, I knew that was him and me, but we weren't physically together. But I didn't know that you're able to have spiritual sex, like, and all that. I didn't know. I'm just going by just my own personal experience. You know, but yeah, there was a sexual tickle underneath my belly button, and it would flutter like. Anytime I laid down and I felt Joe was close to me, it would tickle like. And it was sexual in nature. um I I I moved back. I flew back from the UK, what was it, October 16th of 2018. um I had to go to the what's it called? The embassy, the American embassy in London. And they helped me get a flight back to the U.S. And so I flew back to Florida where my mom is. And I ended up staying with her for 8 months. Now, during this whole entire time, I'm being, I guess you call it, I don't know if it's activated inside or what, I didn't know. And I'm still unsure of the twin flame name and all of this, I'm learning as I go, basically. But I know of this connection between me and Joe, and I was so in love with him. Yeah, so this Kundalini sexual interaction between me and Joe was going on a lot. I mean, I could go to sleep or try, lay down to go to sleep, but my thoughts were so directed at Joe and his were at me. And I can remember, we'd have this sexual interaction between us, and then I would end up falling asleep. But as soon as my eyes opened, Joe was there. And that sexual Kundalini thing, chakra below our belly buttons, thought connection, intuitive connection, or whatever would happen. And it was really hot and heavy, believe you me. And from that was going on. And at the same time, me and my mom, and we didn't get along the greatest because our personalities clashed. Now, I didn't tell her what was happening. But when I did stay with her after 18 years, she's the first person I came out to about that heart swirl sexual love that happened. She's the first person I told. And I can remember her, I was coughing. I had to go to the bathroom and throw up. I could barely get the words out, about what had happened to me. It was terrible. But anyways, after I told her, I can remember one thing that sticks out in my mind that she said was that, I guess you're not special enough. And meaning the fact that, why isn't Joe with me if he loves me that much? And if that happened, why isn't he with me if he loves me, And I've already questioned the fact that, why would God put two people together in such a way and have such a great love for each other, but we're not physically together? I've already questioned that, I've wondered that, how is it possible to have such a special connection with someone physically living on this earth, but we're not together? It just doesn't make sense to me. I can't understand that. Even to this day, I wonder, why have such a great love for someone, but yet can't be with them? It just doesn't, I just don't understand. I can't wrap my head around that, Now, I ended up, now I'm going to tell you why. I ended up in the mental hospital in Florida. Now, it's not because I'm mentally ill. What it was is I was trying to come out with my story and what had happened to me and what is really going on with me. But I got nothing but backlash. I tell you what, there's not one person, there was not one person that believed me. They force-fed me. They force-fed me with I'm mentally ill, okay? Not one person stood by me. Not one person supported me. Not one person understood me. Not one person wanted to have any part of who I really and truly am. Not one. And even to this day, There's not one supporter. Not one. Not one supporter. I don't have any friends. Now, granted, I'm going to say I have my sister and my daughter, and I have that connection and I love that connection. But from my point of view back then when I was living in Florida, I had not one supporter. Not one. I was totally on my own and sticking up for myself. And I've heard this term gaslighting, which I take it to be. That's all they did. Anybody that came across me. They tried to convince me I was mentally ill. I was schizophrenic and I was bipolar and I didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm mentally ill. And I know damn well I'm not. I know damn well what's went on in my life. I know damn well what's gotten me to where I'm at today. And I'm standing firm in my convictions and I know the truth. And I'm just trying to get my truth out there, without having to argue with someone, to stand up for myself and be defensive about myself and I know myself to the core, to my soul, But anyways, I get really defensive about that because I'm sick and tired of people being, trying to mold me into what they think I should be and what they think is going on. When I'm just trying to explain, I'm not looking for their opinion. I'm looking to tell them the truth. And that's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here by myself, talking my truth. I've wrote about it, but now I'm talking it. So yeah, this sexual kundalini thing between Joe and I has been going on. Now it stopped. And it stopped quite a long time ago. There was one little incident not too far back, but basically it's null and void, it's not happening, and I know why it's not happening. But yeah, I was unaware, and I started listening to a lot of YouTube videos. Now, I read tarot cards, and I've been doing that for many, many years. But yeah, I was listening to tarot card readings, trying to get an understanding of what exactly was happening with my body, because I knew something was happening, but I didn't understand what, I didn't know. It made me question myself. But yeah, there is a sexual kundalini kind of connection between Joe and I, which is not happening now, but it was up until just not too awful long ago. And it's an energy connection. It has to do with energy and stuff. But yeah, I don't have any friends and I don't have any support of any kind to deal, and I never have. I've always dealt with this all by myself, all alone, discovering as I go what's happening with my body and what's happening around me and stuff. But yeah, I do question, why can't Joe and I be friends? Why can't we see each other? It doesn't make any sense, but I'd love to see him, I would really love to see him. But anyways, I'll continue later.